Okay, so it's time for another Christmas movie. I've gone through quite a lot, and it starts to run kind of thin. You're probably thinking, could it get any thinner than a movie about a snowman, a movie about wind, a movie about a gingerbread man? So now I'm actually going to do two different Tales from the Crypt. One is the 1972, I want to say British movie, where the opening sequence is essentially a killer Santa Claus. Of course, this one is actually done very well. You know, it's not a huge sequence of the movie, because this movie is 3 individual tales. And this one, since it came out before, came out before Black Christmas, before Silent Deadly Night, this one really did more of the, you've got, it sets up a much better mood. You've got, Christmas tree, pseudo-loving couple, then you have a killer Santa. Not bad. Acting's done fairly well. I want to say Joan Collins is in it, which is saying a lot, because in the 70s she was someone who was in very high regard. And that is that one. So essentially, if you could find Tales from the Crypt, the 1972 British one, the opening sequence is a Christmas one. It's done very well. As I told you before, it gets kind of thin when you start really trying to do Christmas for multiple days. And then, of course, I believe this one was the first Tales from the Crypt on HBO episode. I want to say it was All Through the House, based upon a beautiful EC comic story. All the Tales from the Crypt that you saw on HBO were based off of the EC comic line. If you can get a hold of that, you'll be amazed at how they took a 9-page comic story and made like a 20-minute block. And of course, this is one of those ever classic, a woman kills her husband on Christmas. But guess what? There's a lunatic on the loose who's just like Santa Claus. But looks nothing like Santa Claus. He looks like Santa Claus with the face of a leprechaun. Not a leprechaun, Wardale from the movie Leprechaun. And of course, the woman is frantically trying the whole time to make sure that the Santa Claus-looking killer doesn't get into the house. And of course, how does it end? The little girl's like, "Look, Mommy, I found Santa." Do you see them die? No. But for Tales from the Crypt, this one, just like the one from the 1972 movie, it is all about setting, style, and suspense. And that's what these two are entirely about. It's about, Santa Claus killer, decent suspense, decent acting, and the best part is you can watch them both in under an hour. So, like I said, we're getting kind of thin. I do have other killer Santa movies, but at this time, the best one I can review is the 2 Tales from the Crypt. Well, one's a part, one's an episode. Actually, I recommend almost all Tales from the Crypt. The original British movie and that whole TV series. And I've already done the 2 movies. So, coming up next, I'll think I'll do Christmas Evil. I'll go back to a full-length feature film that is about a killer Santa Claus. And I got you.